It is currently 12:10 a.m. That's amplification. That's LAPD, who was present 24 hours stalking. This is not only criminal, remember, it's demonic. The sound that's amplified is literally the operation of the demonic. While you have this is actually the state that's stalking in a helicopter, it's LAPD. You have what is the entity that is stalking in a helicopter, first of all, but these are demons that are flying a helicopter, engaging in a criminal system. It's currently 12:11 a.m. and it's Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. And this is the maintenance of the pattern of conduct, the maintenance of a specific environment, and this is the pattern of conduct by LAPD. These are demons that do not sleep. They don't rest. Group stalking is ceaseless. In the same way that you see the light source, that's the operation of a supernatural environment. This is the property where the sun is present, rising in alignment to my apartment visible through my living room window, and it is setting in alignment to my bedroom window as I capture it over this very building 1818. And that is from the hours of 7 a.m. until after 5 p.m. That is over 11 hours of the entity keeping the light source, which is under no circumstances anything remotely close to the operation of a natural environment or the sun, okay? You need to remember those facts when I'm showing you video of a law enforcement agency acting in conformity to a long documented pattern of conduct in the specific environment. Those are demons, and that's what you're literally looking at operating a helicopter in the specific environment. I am a woman. They're stalking a woman in a helicopter, and they're flying directly over my apartment in the middle of the night. I need you to remember all those facts. This is definitely stalking, and this is engineer light. Oh, here you go. We can see it too. This is engineer light. You can see on the wall right here. This is my shadow. Yeah, you can see let me turn this television off because I want you to be able to see it. I don't think if I turn it, you might not be able to see it when I turn this TV off. But this is engineer light, and it's not the reflection from the TV, which is down here. It's the reflection from the TV. It's not going to show down here, but that is engineer light. And this is appearing on the walls, if you can see that. But this is impossible light activity. Here is engineered light that's appearing on the walls on the inside beside the window. It's all inside of the apartment. I don't think you can see it as clearly when the television is out. At least I can't see it on the camera. But in still images, it picks it up really well in the dark. But this is my shadow right here, and it's appearing on the wall. This is engineered light, and it's the reflection of this window that's appearing on all of the walls in the dark. Here, this is the only one that shows up a little bit, if you can kind of see that. But this is impossible. This is impossible light activity, and you've seen it during the day. You've seen this light activity during the day. This is in the hallway. Yeah, you can see that. The camera picks this one up. Yeah, this is the window. You can see that shadow right there. This is an entirely dark hallway, right? This is all dark, but you can see some light right here. That's on the wall. My shadow, that's coming from impossible light from the living room. This is P.O.C. This is entirely demonic. What you saw the Los Angeles Police Department engaging in, they're doing so, stalking while engineer light fills my apartment, okay? This is capturing what is the sex offense while demons are stalking and I'm being molested and my private space is filled with what is unnatural light. That is a demonic environment, which is also prosecution for what is terrorism while you see LAPD stalking me in a helicopter, and it is directly referencing me being stalked by LAPD. The specific environment is the precise ability to identify stalking by the state. And that specific environment, which is one that follows wherever it is that I go. And it's also wherever that specific environment is, And I'm still looking up at the ceiling now in the living room. This is my shadow appearing above me. Okay, I am at the living room blinds, and you can see on the ground outside, those are the lollipop lamps. There is no form of light activity that will ever create your shadow above you. Okay, this is light activity that's appearing at nighttime, and this is the demonic environment. And so you are looking at something in the natural. You're seeing a helicopter. You're actually looking at demon-possessed individuals that are flying a helicopter in the specific environment. They are engaging in demonic conduct while you're looking at an aircraft, a helicopter, in relevant position. It's the elements of relevant positioning, demonic, the amplification of helicopter activity, audible activity, engaging in that creation of audible activity is engagement in the elements of monitoring. Remember, group stalking is demonic activity. The demon possessed engage in a very distinct pattern of conduct. They maintain audible activity. They amplify that audible activity while they are in the path, which is being in relevant position, being somewhere, anywhere in the path as a group on an ongoing basis. These demons are maintaining presence in the path and via a helicopter in the specific environment. This is the specific environment where you have what is an unnatural environment. The specific environment is that which is entirely unnatural. It's engineered, but it is malicious because the demon possessed, who have a physical condition which you cannot physically see or identify, you are able to identify that condition and their criminal system by that environment and their behavior, that activity in that environment. That is demonic while the entity is flying a helicopter over my apartment. It's also a clear indication of what is ongoing stalking and obsessive stalking. Not only because of the hour, you're seeing the specific environment and they're engaging in the use of a helicopter to engage in crossing a path. These are demons that have access to a helicopter and they're affiliated with a law enforcement agency. They're group stalking just like the rest of the people of the state who live in relevant position and are monitoring me inside of this private space, and that's why it remains here. They're monitoring and participating in the criminal elements of monitoring in a perceivable method while they use a helicopter to cross path at 12:11 in the morning. Okay, they're monitoring right now. The audible activity that's the means of monitoring is my voice right now. They're monitoring while I'm being subject to a sex offense. This is an unlawful touching, in the same way that in the morning where you see the engineered light and I'm aiming the camera in my apartment and you can see my shadow on the wall and you're supposed to be under and nobody is fooled by that. This is the pattern of conduct. The entity has been long prosecuted. This is documentation for what is years of impermissible threat. And the LAPD police department, they're going to federal prison for years. They're going for a long time, and they're going to be disbanded. This is years of the impermissible threat. That is the enhancement of time in federal prison after the target individual has began documentation. It shall be federal policy where the government continues to monitor, threaten the life of an American citizen who has become aware of the fact that you're doing so. Documentation is the process of enforcing one's rights, and it is unlawful to monitor. It is further unlawful and intolerable under federal law to continue as the state, to continue that criminal activity, which shall be a matter of documentation, that the government continue to pose that threat and communicate such a threat to the life of an American citizen. This is years of posing an impermissible threat. And this is 12 o'clock in the morning, and I've captured 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning in the dark. The LAPD are a bunch of demons. They don't take arrests. While I'm at work, they're stalking. While I'm in the nude, they're stalking. While I'm in my bed sleeping, they're stalking. Okay, and you know that because the environment doesn't take arrests. It's never gone. Okay, no light on the ground creates shadows above you. Okay, that is no form. And it's also remains when the blinds are closed, okay? In the same way that you're looking at the engineered light in the morning and in the afternoon. This is the environment that you're mindful of when you're looking at a helicopter crossing path. That's not an ordinary thing. Those are demons that are operating a helicopter, and these demon-possessed law enforcement agencies, such as LAPD, heavily documented, engaged in what is the maintenance of a specific environment and stalking in helicopters while they do so. These demons are specifically utilizing, these corrupt law enforcement agencies are specifically using helicopters affiliated with these law enforcement agencies to engage and to commit the criminal acts of the criminal elements of monitoring. They're engaging in surveillance using helicopters. All right, they're engaged in ongoing surveillance, 24-hour maintenance of stalking, and actively engaging in the ongoing monitoring with the people of the state. Okay, and they concentrate on using helicopter activity, and that's the specific pattern of conduct. I just want to be clear. So it is currently 12:20 a.m. and it is April 2nd, 2024, and that's documentation of the specific environment, and that's relevant to what is a pattern of being present. They're present, which is group stalking in my path, flying around me. You're stalking me, you're monitoring me in conformity to a pattern of conduct that has existed for years. I've been documenting the state, establishing a precedent for what is the prosecution of a government that's engaging in criminal surveillance, and they're doing it not by themselves. They're doing it in concert with the people of the state. The sun does not remain over an apartment complex for 12 hours in the day. The reason why it's remaining over Alvarado Gardens is because that police department you see stalking. It is that is the criminal act and the the ability to precisely identify what is underway in the specific environment, and I have documented it. The entity engaging in this conduct, which is unmistakable stalking in the specific environment, and doing so while they're monitoring that ongoing documentation. So that's a sex offender, that's a terrorist, that is also monitoring the documentation of its criminal conduct, which it beforehand thought was a secret and was also quote unquote not provable. They're monitoring that ongoing documentation. That's a level of malice that shall be outlawed under federal law, okay? That police department is going to be disbanded. That police department is full of demons. You need to know that. It's not just those demons operating the helicopter right now. It is letting you know about what is wrong with the entire Los Angeles Police Department. They are infected with demon possession. This demon possession is directly relevant to their inability to have the positions that they currently have. It is a threat to the safety of American citizens. That needs to be clear. It's not just the fact that they're monitoring me. It's a threat to the safety of American citizens because they're engaging in an ongoing criminal conspiracy with the people of the state, which is a threat to the safety of American citizens. And it is also speaking to the inability to be in that position to even have such a level of moral turpitude, that level of malice, the malice of the pattern of conduct of the criminal system in concert with the people. These are psychopaths that the people of the state will go to the Los Angeles fire department, but I'm at police station. This is just an example of the malice and psychopaths who are demons acting as one. But you'll have on the surface, the people of the state, okay, will go to the local police department and go and file a police report. And this is on the surface looking as though somebody that the police department that wasn't there, they weren't physically present, right? And you have a person that's seemingly, again, going and enforcing their ability to, create a paper trail as far as some sort of event that happens, which was, they're going to allege as a violation of their rights. And so, and you're actually dealing with an entity that is masquerading as an ordinary person, an American citizen, similarly situated to the targeted individual, and the entity that is monitoring, that is the state directly. These are demons. You have a demon that's in the position of the people of the state that comes into the state facilitating venue of the police department, the LAPD, filing a police report about that which they both know would happen. You're dealing with demons. And so that's just to give you a scenario about what's actually going on. This is the reality of that system, but this is a secret society. This is that secret society. You've got the spiritual commonality. They're all demons, but in the natural, this is a physical condition that is invisible. You don't have this conversation about the fact that you share that same spirit of darkness, and the fact that you're in a specific environment. That secret that they have with regard to their environment, which is directly relevant to their ability to be a police officer, because of the criminal conduct that they are compelled and obsessively engaging in. That is directly relevant to their ability to be in law enforcement, or whether they should even be in law enforcement, and they shouldn't. But anyway, this is 12:24 a.m. and that's just one example. LAPD hasn't gone anywhere. You saw them on camera flying by. They did not go anywhere. They understand what the P.O.C. is there at various moments for whatever reason, most of the time inspired by what the target individual is doing or saying, documenting in my case, because I'm exposing the pattern of conduct that I'm subject to in a way that the entity has never experienced before. But I want to be clear, the entity, they're not going anywhere. You're looking at the sky like, oh, they're flying away. No, they're not. They're stalking obsessively, amplifying audible activity, still stalking in a helicopter, turning up and down the sound of that helicopter. Okay, these are demons. So I want to make sure I stress that. And this is a police department that is stalking. I am a single woman living on my own, and they are targeting me, and while they're flying a helicopter to do so. I want you to put those very basic facts together. They're stalking a single woman. I'm living by myself in an apartment, and I happen to have the ability to document, and I'm going to prosecute. But I want you to be clear about what these so-called police, these law enforcement agencies are engaging in. They're stalking a single woman who, I'm not breaking the law either. I'm literally by myself in the middle of the night, and they are obsessively stalking me on an ongoing basis. And you are climbing into a helicopter and stalking me, focused on me. All right. And in the specific environment, that's exactly what's happening. The engineered light, the light on my ceiling, the multiple shadows, the shadows appearing on my ceiling, all right, the light above my bedroom door, the shadow of the leaves of trees appearing through closed blinds after remaining for 11 hours. That is the sun for the duration of the day. That's exactly what LAPD is doing. They're demons, and they're stalking me in a helicopter. And this is a well-documented pattern of conduct by the corrupt law enforcement agencies in the state of California that are engaging in a crime that you are able to identify and document and prosecute. And it's group stalking, referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring, because they're also monitoring via and on communication devices, and they're doing it in concert with the people of the state. That is ongoing corroborating evidence against the people of the state. While you see directed light inside of my apartment, the people of the state are not sleeping. The P.O.C. is not taking a nap. There's never a pause. I'm not able, in other words, to get privacy if I wait to go undress at 2 o'clock in the morning when everybody sleeps. That's not how the pattern of conduct works. That's not how the demon possessed work either. This is ongoing obsessive monitoring. Okay, so I just want to make sure I clarify that. And this video and that discussion, I want you're looking at the natural, and then every time you're looking at it, you are mindful of the leaves blowing on the trees that you see in magnified light on my bedroom wall after the sun has been present for 11 hours at one property, rising and setting in alignment to my apartment in Los Angeles. And then you're looking at video of what is the entity keeping the light source over me at the Upland Public Library at the same time at 450 North Euclid Avenue. And by the same time, I mean before the time of opening at the Upland Public Library, which is 10 a.m. And then the Monday through Thursday, it closes at 6 p.m. And the entity keeps the light source over the roof of that library. That's not the natural environment either, but you have what is not possibly happening also while it's remaining at Alvarado Gardens from the beginning until the end of the day, where you can possibly have any daylight. The entity is keeping the sun over me. In that specific environment, the police departments are stalking, and they stalk in helicopters. They're also demons that maintain relevant position in the perimeter, around the perimeter, 24 hours. These are demons that are driving police vehicles, and they're taking obsessive notes about everything that I'm doing while I go to work, while I go to the bathroom, while I take a shower, what time I took that shower, when I'm painting my toenails, when I'm putting on my underwear. And I have witnessed that level of detailed notes by the Ontario Police, just to let you know. But this is the ongoing surveillance. These are demons that are motivated by this ongoing obsession, all right? And this outrageous means of stalking and engaging in surveillance. And they're doing it with the people who have no constitutional protections whatsoever. They live in the specific environment. They are facilitating. It's not a coincidence when they're engaging in facilitating behaviors that just so happen to achieve criminal monitoring. They're going to federal prison for that. Okay. And this is the system that they're participating in. The entity that did not go anywhere and is doing nothing other than crossing path again on camera. You saw that red flashing light? They weren't going anywhere anyway. They were stalking and monitoring the whole time. They provide an ongoing body of evidence against the people of the state, and not just those at Alvarado Gardens who are going to federal prison. This is a body of evidence that goes toward the people of the state that I've been documenting since 2018, because it's not a coincidence that the specific environment is now here at Alvarado Gardens. It's not just that. That's the P.O.C. It's the ongoing body of evidence against the people of the state when I'm in San Bernardino, California, and the entity is in the specific environment doing the same thing, stalking, always arriving in helicopter in that specific environment where the sun would not possibly and could not possibly be present when it's remaining over my apartment where I live, or where I'm at Tracy Banks' house, living at her house, and it's remaining over my head in its zenith, as you saw, in the middle of the day at 12:38 p.m. All right. The entity is group stalking, and this is the ongoing pattern of conduct. That's called light activity, and that's called relevant positioning. That's a demon that's in a helicopter that's focused on me, and that's how you know the light activity and the maintenance of the sun and the moon over me. And the entity engaging in amplifying audible activity. A third-party group stalker driving on Alvarado Gardens is stalking me. That the entity amplifies all manner of presence in the path, and they're an engineered light. You're not driving down the street in the specific environment. You're crossing path. That's a demon that is clearly stalking. There's nothing hidden about what the demon-possessed population is doing. Nothing. It is it's the identification of what is a stalker and what is a sex offender. And it's no ordinary stalker. A stalker is scary, and a stalker is mentally deranged in the first place. But group stalking is a whole other level of a stalker. Okay, that's a whole other level, and it's an entity that is stalking you. This is a demon crossing path. Light activity appearing before they physically cross path. That's the demon that stalks in the path with light. They do the same thing under the light source while engineered light moves across surfaces. And again, nothing about that demonic behavior that you've already witnessed is separate from what you're looking at. You are always mindful of all the facts of what you've already witnessed. And this is 24-hour surveillance. That's why everybody at Alvarado Gardens is going to federal prison. Okay? The ordinary target individual does not have to document to the extent that I have. This is providing what's going to be standard procedure where the targeted individual is reporting in any way that they have to put the federal government on alert that they're subject to criminal surveillance by the government. You have the ability, it's by default, wherever it is that they live, the entity is maintaining presence around them. Everybody's going to federal prison. They're enabling a government to engage in this terrorism. Everyone around them is going to federal prison. All right. You will in no way assist the government in engaging in this level of threatening the life of an American citizen and terrorizing them and sexually violating and offending them. And you're talking about demons that just take a stroll up the street. This is anybody that's coming and engaging in the sex offense and terrorism in concert with that police department that you see stalking in a helicopter. Anybody comes down the street crossing path. It's a system. That level of facilitation, everybody's going to federal prison. This is serving for what's going to be the policy based on the malice of the system that is being brought against an American citizen. Everybody from apartments 1801 till 1818 number 6 is going to federal prison. Okay, it is currently 12:32 a.m. and this is documentation of the hallmark, impossible light activity captured in my apartment at nightfall. All right, and this is, and also that demonic character of that light activity captured at nightfall. The hallmark of what is the pattern, the entity stalking, because that's exactly what you're doing in the specific environment. You're stalking. You don't have any legitimate, that's all that it is. And it's not just an ordinary stalker, it's a group stalker. And a group stalker is a demon-possessed stalker. That's a whole other, that's speaking to a sex offender, that's speaking to a malicious actor. And this is all underway while I captured this video and the entity providing corroborating evidence against the people. The Los Angeles Police Department is going to be disbanded and they're going to federal prison. They're going to be subject to mental examinations. This is the prosecution of the people. All right. And this is serving for what is that evidence against the people. You don't have any legal argument. You don't have any justification or legal excuse in the specific environment. And you're dealing, by the way, with a malicious psychopath who will put forth any and everything, including, oh, well, I was at work when the entity was flying over by a helicopter. You live at the venue. You're going to federal prison. They're monitoring and they're acting as a team. It's a team effort. A 24-hour ceaseless team effort. And these demons come out of the woodwork when I take the trash out, when I walk downstairs to go to they are maintaining hovering cooperative presence. While they want to walk their dog and take the trash out and go for a jog, they're stalking. They're stalking, maintaining hovering presence in the specific environment. A demon can do whatever they want. Like I said, you can deliver a baby in engineered light. It's P.O.C. Letting you know what's going on at Kaiser Permanente, by the way. That's just giving you one example. They're monitoring. It's currently 12:33 a.m. This is P.O.C.